Hello, ladies. Hi, please, can you mute? Please, Deborah, sorry. Deborah. Hi. Who is that? Please, can you all mute? Hello, ladies. Can you mute, please? Sorry, can everyone hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. Hi, everyone. You're all welcome on board. Welcome to PLSS Africa, and we're all glad to have you here. So this is PLSS Africa, and you'll be undergoing the data annotation training. So today is our onboarding, where you get to know about PLSNs, you get to know about a brief introduction on data annotation. So now I will be introducing the Chief Executive Officer of PLSNs Africa to you. So she'll be coming on board now. She's the founder of PLSNs Africa, and she'll be coming on board to talk to you about PLSNs, what we do, and you can ask her any question, whatever it is you need to know about PLSNs. So by the way, my name is Mercy, and I'll be the one taking you through this course, through this training, data annotation training. So before I come on board to give us a brief introduction on data annotation and what you look forward to getting it, she'll be coming on board now to tell us about PLSNs, Tech for Girls Africa, and all you need to know about it. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching me from. You're welcome, guys. Can everybody hear me? Can you just put in the chat box that you can hear me well, please? All right, thank you so much. Briefly, I'd like to, so all of a sudden, my device isn't showing my video. I presume it's not showing my video. And I'm going to join with another device. And while that's going on, I'm going to just spotlight everyone on the call. I really just want to say welcome to you guys. You guys are the real, you're the MVP, right? You're the real person. Thank you, Eda. I see that you joined very early, right? And I would love to really meet you all before we start. And so if you can, you would love to introduce yourself to us before we get in on the business of the day. I would ask that you unmute yourself. We can give the floor to a few persons who would love to unmute themselves and just tell us your name, where you're joining us from. And then every other person who you do not want to be on the spotlight, you can just put it in the chat room where you're watching us from. So can we do that in the next, say, 3 to 5 minutes? Put it in the chat for me where you're watching us from. We really want these to be an engaging and interacting section. So if you would love to speak, you can raise your hand and then use the raise hand icon, and then we can spotlight you, and then you introduce yourself. Sarah, you're welcome from Rwanda. Muraka's, what they say, Murakaze. Welcome, Sarah. Edith from Uganda, Joanne from, okay, awesome, awesome. I'm seeing all these amazing people, and I'm really, really glad to have you all here. So I'm going to try to just Esther from Nigeria, welcome. So I'm going to try to just say welcome to everyone. Firstly, Alili, you're welcome, Alili. Anastasia, it's a roll call, guys. It's a roll call. So I'm going to start from the persons that I can see on here. So Alili, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Anastasia, Waweru, you're welcome. We have Elizabeth. We have Belize, we have Beverly Nankan, we have Deborah iPhone, we have Ada, we have Elizabeth Umaka, we have Esther Kenneth, we have Faith Njoki, we have Grace Ishimwe Uwase Olga. Jane, you're welcome. Joanne, you're welcome. Linda Gore, you're welcome. Is Linda Gore from South Sudan? Marianne, you're welcome. Mercy Chebet, you're welcome. Forgive me if I don't pronounce it well properly, but let me say Pamela Teddy, you're welcome. Edith Namayanja, you're welcome. We have Nicole Johnson. We have Sarah Ishimwe, Shiru Karanga. We have Winnie Lydia Akula. We have Lizzie. We have Bieta, we have Valentine. Guys, you're all welcome. And if I check through the chat session, I can also see some persons who are just telling us where they're joining us from. We are really grateful to have you guys on the call with us. Okay, so if you give me a minute, I'll join because I really want to be able to see you guys as you guys can see me as well. So I'm going to join briefly with my mobile device while I would go ahead to share my screen after.
So guys, you can see me, right?
Okay, so let's make this work. Okay. I'm going to just try to make my phone show a little bit. It's quite dark, so I can just increase my, yeah. So I think we are good to go. So again, guys, my name is Augusta Ohali. This is the face behind Pearl Excellence Africa, and the face we've been hearing for quite some moments right now. Please let me know you can hear me. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes,
All right,
we can.
Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so my name is Augusta Ohali. I am from Nigeria and I am the director of Pearl Excellence Africa. First of all, I also really want to say Happy International Women's History Month to you guys. I mean, we are still in the month of March. It kind of looks like a really long month. We're waiting for the month to come to an end in a day or two. Thank you all for being on this call. And amazingly, it's still the Women History Month. So for us, this is Data Tech for Girls Africa Initiative, which is where Data Annotation Bootcamp is hosting from, is an event that we are hosting in line with the Women History Month. So we are honoring the women and the young girls all over Africa. So that's why we're having these training. We could have had it long ago, but we thought to allow other participants who didn't get the memo on time to join in as well. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I'm going to just look for exactly where my screen is. So guys, you're going to have to bear with me in that light, okay? Before I share my screen, let me come here. So it appears nobody wanted to talk to me directly using the mic, but it's okay. We'll get to know each other as we move on in the course of our training. Okay, so without wasting so much time, let me go to my share screen so we can just get this done with. Okay, so please let me know if you can see my screen. You can use the chat box, it's fine. All right, awesome. Everyone in the meeting can. Okay, so yes, awesome. So a brief introduction of who we are, what we do is what we're about to discuss briefly before Mercy comes on board. And like she said, she's our facilitator for Data Annotation Bootcamp. So right in front of my screen, this is Pearl Excellence Africa, like Mercy had said. And motto is leveraging technology to transform lives. So that's practically why we are having this bootcamp. So again, welcome guys to the onboarding webinar. We wanted to make it a slight onboarding party, but I don't even have a glass of juice nor snack by my table. So maybe next time we'll have a virtual party together. Okay, so here, practically what I just want to say is introduction about Pearl Excellence Africa, and this is the welcome message about us and the preview for what we're doing. So explaining all about us in a very short period. So Pearl Excellence Africa is a non-profit organization that is focused on promoting technology education among the African girl child. So we're really focused and committed to really seeing a girl child have a future with equal opportunities in technology, and beyond that, playing a lead role in shaping Africa's future digitally. You would agree with me that the statistics is it's really low for the number of girls that are in in technology. Of course, in the past periods, we are trying to do better. In the past years, we're trying to do better, but it's still not as what we're looking. There's still a lot of gaps in between. And so that's why we really are focused on ensuring that from our communities, from our grassroots level, we have young girls in tech being in leadership roles, like they can really make decisions for Africa, for our economy in a very large state without bias. So who can quickly tell me what the theme for this year's International Women's Day is? For 2023, you can tell me in the comment section what the theme for International Women's Day is. I know it's days past it. Who can tell me? You can put it in the chat section. I can see it. Anybody? Or you can even unmute yourself to tell me about it. Anybody wants to go? Okay, is somebody Googling it already? Can you use Google? Guys, is somebody Googling it already? Who is the fast finger owner who has Googled it already? Okay, accelerate equality. Okay, somebody else, anyone else? Innovation and technology for gender. Yeah, accelerating equity and empowerment. So yes, it's embracing equity, right? And you would agree with me, despite the fact that we're in 2023, there's not really been equal access to women. There's also not been a level of equity in the technology space digitally. And so these whilst last year was trying to break the bias, this year is telling us that we need to do better and do more. And so we need to embrace equity. And that's why we have this data annotation as if a form to embrace equity. We literally extended the application period so that we can accommodate others who didn't see it on time. That's a form of equity, because equity is fairness, right? So we even opened up to even the persons who say, okay, you don't have digital internet access, but you do have a PC, come on, go ahead. We can make things available for you to go ahead with that. So yes, that's just by the way. So that's what we're really doing. Really are looking forward to a period where there will be equity all around and equal access and opportunities for women. And so yeah, we have this iconic 5, right? And then to the very first person there on the left is my humble self, Augusta Augustine. And then there is Ewoma. I am based in Nigeria. Okay, and then there is Ewoma Akuge. Ewoma is also a Nigerian who is based in Scotland. Ewoma is our research and communications director. We have Yvonne, who is the Rwandese. Yvonne is our operations director. She's currently not on the call because she has another meeting going on. She's based in Kigali and she's proudly Rwandan. That's how she would really like to introduce herself if she was here. Then we have our beautiful Mercy Aisusa. Mercy is, like I said, the facilitator for our data annotation bootcamp. She's also the lead for our innovations and development. And we have Nyamort. Nyamort is, Mercy is based in Nigeria and she's Nigerian at the moment. We have Nyamort. Nyamort is from South Sudan. She's the head of programs and partnerships, and she is based in, well, Kigali and Kenya, right? So yeah, this is the iconic team that we work with. And then we have some other persons on our team that we work with. And then we have received a few mails about volunteering, and we haven't really opened that slot. But this next quarter, we are going to
open up that slot for volunteers from different parts and representatives from different parts of Africa. So yes, to explain our vision. So like I said, we look forward to have a world where every African child can grow and excel, in the tech field, and they just have like ease access to opportunities, and then really have a really befitting workforce environment. That's why we're talking about embrace equity. We didn't even know it would come to a point where we would really be ringing the bell from United Nations that let's embrace equity. And so that's what our vision is encapsulated around. Then we have our mission, which is to bridge the gender gap in technology. As you would agree with me, like I mentioned earlier, you would really agree with me that the gender gap in technology is really, really low. And so that's also what we're looking at, really, really coming to a point where we can have that gap bridged. So we are focused on really bridging that gap, and we do that by providing resources, mentorship, trainings, which is exactly like data, and one of it is data annotation bootcamp, mentorship, hands-on learning experience, where the girl child finds a more easy and friendly environment to explore technology equitably and also have an innovative future. And then we have our core values. Our core values for us is integrity. We really are neck deep in integrity. We like to have a good name. We like to have integrity as an individual. So the people who come on our team and who work on our team are people who are of high integrity standard. And we look forward to also having our impact felt, right? And not just audio impact, but impact really in the sense that we can see a life transform from the grassroots and really see the return on investment of the impact. And our core value also is commitment. So as a people, as an organization, we are fully committed to our development community. We are committed to the girls that we affect or impact their lives. And we also look forward to molding this commitment as a value in every girl child who encounters us, so that irrespective of where they eventually get to be, maybe in their new workspaces or even as an entrepreneur, they are committed fully to innovation and development. And then we love excellence. Yes, we do love excellence. These also we find out that the people who work with us are also having borderlines of these kind of values. So we love to really have things done excellently well, and really, and that for us is something that we cannot compromise, something that we cannot just question it. It has to just be excellent, right? No matter how hard it is, we try. I mean, with every resources within us to ensure that all our work is done excellently well. Yeah. And then we love to respect one another. We respect ourselves, irrespective of your age, whether you're younger, you're elder, more, you're of the same age. We respect individuals, we respect our goals, we respect the communities that we work with, and even the girls that we work with. We know that no matter the level that they are in, or any person is, we've got something to learn from one another. And so these are our core values. You can call it eyes or whatever. And then to do all the visions, the bridging the gap to ensure equitable and innovative future for an African girl child, we have an approach that we call the Big C. So the Big C stands for bridge, ignite, guide, and catalyze. And how do we do this with this approach? So what we do is, how do we do it? We do it through the Big C. So what we do is we find young girls, we find people in different communities of African descent, and we try to bridge the gap of our expertise that they have. We bridge the digital divide that is there and empower the next generation of female technology leaders. So if we find a community, we do find, because that's our work, we do find this community, these young girls, African leaders, future leaders, you can call them. But we try to say, okay, there's a divide, let's bridge the gap. And then when we find these ladies, we bring we understand what the digital divide is, and then we bring them in, and then we say, okay, this is the access that you need, the resources that you need in the field of technology, right? And then when we do that, we have ways of igniting and sparking up curiosity in them, igniting a better picture from wherever state they are, from whatever situation they are. We ignite curiosity in them in the area of emerging technology. And we do this fantastically in the areas of emerging technology like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robotics. You can those innovations that, backtracking a little bit, young girls have been marginalized from. So we look at those marginalized community and background and create in them the desire to just be and do more in their lives, right? And we also have a pointer to what it would look like when this curiosity is sparked and when they are committed and really involved in emerging tech and innovations. And then we don't just show them these amazing stuff, we become a guide to them. And so that's why we have different programs. So we guide them, we be their touch lights, we point in light and them in the right directions. We do that by offering mentorships, hands-on workshop, immersive learning experiences. We also do that by having accountability groups, where we know that it sometimes is not easy. IT is not a very easy thing. Like people say, if you have experience in coding, you would agree with me that a lot of times you could code fully and then just a little, maybe you mistakenly had typed I as 1 in a code. Just know, if you don't find that exact place when you're trying to find the bugs, you will just, by the time you find what was the bug, you'll be so shocked. Sometimes it's just a mistake. And so we don't leave them. So we ensure that we guide them through in all these processes. And then the C is for catalyze. And then what that means is that we be the catalyst that promotes diversity, that inclusion, we break down barriers and biases, and we pave the way for a brighter and a more beautiful future. And we have conversations with government, with roundtable conversations with policymakers, and say, allow those girls to come in here. Okay, let us help these girls in this way. I mean, every ministry in different African countries, they do have their goals. They do have what they're trying to reach out, what they're trying to gain at the end of the day. For some countries, it is being read out. I mean, we are reminded by our ministers. I can say, for instance, in the Republic of Rwanda, it's so amazing how the government can actually have a dialogue with even the masses. I was one time opportune to be in the national dialogue, and then you see that you have even people from the grassroots, like the village heads, ministers ask questions, and then literally the president will be like, who is the minister or who is the mayor of this community? Okay, assign them to that issues. So what we do in the catalyzed approach is that we have roundtable discussions with people or policymakers. And then we say, this is what we think can work, being that we have experience or we have people who are really in that grassroots. And so we really use, and that approach really brings us to bring us results, because we have these ministers or these policymakers listen to us and say, okay, go ahead, do this, do that, do it this way, so that it could be in line with our goals and all of that. So yeah, then our programs, we have series of programs. We have Tech for Girls Africa. It started as Tech for Girls Rwanda. It was strictly for ladies in Rwanda. And then after the 3rd year, we made it Tech for Girls Africa. The reason why it was strictly Rwandans was because it was in partnership with the Ministry of Innovation, Ministry of ICT and Innovation. And then, so it was just around what their goals were until we became licensed. That means that we can actually spread our wings beyond partnerships with the Ministry of ICT and go ahead to do works with other communities like my culture or outside even Rwanda as well. Yeah, so that's why we have Tech for Girls Africa. And then in Tech for Girls Africa, we've had different trainings, software development, we have trainings or IoT, robotic, artificial intelligence, and all that. And then we do have a mentorship bootcamp that sometimes focuses on leadership and soft skills. So we realized on the third year of Tech for Girls Rwanda that beyond just training girls was the fact that we needed to create a platform that after training, they get to be employed or even intern. For those who really want to build something, who don't want to work for people, they can really become entrepreneurial. So we began to have that mentorship bootcamp where we can have other forms of trainings in terms of CV creation, resume building, in terms of social media, personal branding, in terms of leadership, in terms of positioning yourself and leveraging platforms that could enable you to gain recognition or visibility, as well as gain placement in workplaces. So that's what the bootcamp is about. Then we have advocacy campaigns, where in case of like things around gender-based violence, things around, gender-based violence is quite wide. So aside I know in some countries is really really loud, like in Kenya, and even in countries like South Sudan as well, and even in Nigeria. But that sometimes you find out that they're slightly relative. So we create trainings around not just the fact that a girl who is trying to who is on her monthly cycle and do not have access to sanitary wares would be tempted to get very minute little money from maybe a boda boda rider, and then just gets to be lured for to be violated. There are other ways where it's even verbal. Now you even see it online. So we curate advocacy campaigns to address such situations as well. And also to spotlight a particular set of community that really need a kind of help or a kind of listening ears. Yeah. And so another thing that we do is we have events, we have conferences, and Tech for Girls is the kind of event that we do have. Currently, we also have conferences that are totally geared towards the female gender. And we also have conferences that are for both genders. We have Recalibrate Africa. This is a conference that gathers tech founders, tech startups, professionals, investors, policymakers, tech enthusiasts in the same room. And then you have a large network. And if you're already in the tech space or any other service space, you actually get a platform to showcase your business, your service, or your ideas. So for this year, we're having, guys, there's an A missing in the Recalibrate Africa spelling. So for this year, we're having Recalibrate Africa in Kigali. And it's a paid conference, by the way, but it's happening in Kigali in May. I think we're in communications with the Kigali Marriott, I think. So it's going to be a 2-day event, or a 3-day event where you have exhibition or whatever products you have. We're trying to have like a borderless access to other African entrepreneurs, startup founders, and innovators, as well as professionals. And then we have Lioness Rising Bootcamp. So by the way, we are not registered as a faith-based organization. We're incorporated in Rwanda, not as a faith-based. However, I'm a faith-based person. So we have these Lioness Rising Bootcamp that that is not bothered around whether you're Christian or not, but it allows you to have an inner circle accountability group where we can say, what are your goals for the next 90 days? We are going to achieve it. And so that's what Lioness Arising Bootcamp is. We actually opened for application. We are open for application for the next cycle, which is starting in April through May. And because March is my birth month, and a couple of weeks ago I celebrated my birthday, and I was telling people in my space that I'm celebrating my birthday every day till the end of March, right? So I actually felt like some persons 90 days is not always enough, but it's an accountability group that allows you to really achieve your goal in 90 days. So what we did was people who are subscribing to the group, to the boot camp in this cycle, they actually are going to get a promo or a bonus till the next 6 months. So that means that the third cycle, they're not going to be paying, they're just going to be on the free, they're just going to be on free. So an entire 3 months is a free training, a free inner circle, a free accountability group for them. Guys, one of the things that you would need to understand is in every decision, in every drive, in every purpose that you're trying to achieve in life, be it tech, be it whatsoever level that you are in, you need a community of people that can drive you, that can push you, that can motivate you and inspire you to really achieve what you're doing. That's why we're having Data Annotation Bootcamp. That's why we have a Telegram group and channel, so that you can foster strength, foster motivation and inspiration from your fellow participants, and say, let's do this. If Sister A from Kenya can do it, I can also do it. Sister B from Rwanda or Sister B from South Uganda can do it as well, right? There's no demarcation that, okay, I'm from Nigeria, I can do it. I'm from Uganda, I can do it. Because we are not Kenyans or Uganda, we can't do it. So that's why there's that group as Lioness Arising Bootcamp. So it's an intensive session as well for young girls, graduates, the ones who are still in school, employees, professionals who really say, we want to make results, we want to see results with our lives, with our goals. We want to really understand goal setting and how to achieve the goals that we set. We want to put on our big girls pants and really do the work that require us to be refined and require us to become future leaders that can be listened to. Then you really are looking for ruthless results, a ruthless result yielding squad. Then Lioness Arising Bootcamp is. However, it is a paid event, so I'm not really we're not really showcasing it that way, because what we're here for is data annotation. So yes, guys, I think I've come to the end of just a brief introduction, which is not so brief because it's almost like 30 minutes. And yes, you can keep tab with us. You can send us emails at info@peerlessonsafrica.org. Now that is the +250. It's a Rwandan number. And then you can also reach out to us on our emails and all our social media platforms. And so guys, the next thing that I would really love to hear is if you have questions for me, you can put a raise of hand, and then I can answer your questions. So in that, if there's no question, I'd like to say thank you for listening and watching. I'm going to stop to share now so that you can unmute yourself and talk to me.
Sorry, you are muted. Ma'am, you are muted. We can't hear you.
So I don't know where I'm muted from.
Wait, we can hear you now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me? So I think that it was I got disconnected. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I got disconnected with my other device. Thank you, Deborah. I can see a message. And that's what happened. It's actually trying to reconnect. But if you have any questions for me, it's okay if you raise your hand, and I would answer your questions. Thank you, guys. So if there are questions in the chat box, okay. Someone is asking about the Lioness Arising Bootcamp. So I was talking about the Lioness Arising Bootcamp. Someone just asked the question. So I was talking about the Lioness Arising Bootcamp, and I said the Lioness Arising Bootcamp is an inner circle accountability group, right? For people who want to achieve their results, who want to set their goals and ace it at the same time. So your goals could be about your it could be about your schooling, if you're a graduate. It could be about anything. It could be about your job. You just really want to have a life that is full of results. Yeah, so that's what the Lioness Arising Bootcamp is about. So usually it used to be a cycle, 3 months for a cycle. But what we are doing this particular second cycle is that we're giving access to all the subscribers for 3 months instead of the normal, for 6 months instead of the normal 3 months usually. So yes, that's it about the Lioness Arising Bootcamp. So is there any other question? Mercy, if you can pick questions for me, I would be glad.
Okay. No questions here. Any other question? You can unmute, just raise your hand and unmute and talk as well, because I think someone unmuted.
Someone wants to ask a question?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe that was a mistake. Okay, when are the classes starting?
So that's why you're on the onboarding call. Now the onboarding has started, and after that, your class schedules will be shared across to you. So that's why you're on the onboarding call. We only just had a few moments to say, who are these guys that are organizing data annotation class? So we just wanted to tell you a little bit of ourselves before we go ahead, and then Mercy in her session would explain to us when the class is starting, and also how the schedules are working. So Deborah is asking, how can we subscribe to the Lioness Bootcamp? So Deborah, we didn't open that subscription to you guys because it was a different. We're just giving out our quota for so we didn't open it, but if you're interested, maybe share you an email. If you can send us a DM or just send us an email and we can reach out, we can share you that link. But we also don't want you to be distracted about the main reason why you're here, which is the data annotation course. I was just mentioning part of the things that we do as an organization. But we bring in Lioness Arising Bootcamp, we have like coaching calls where we bring in knowledge experts from different parts of the world, and they talk to us based on economy, financial intelligence, based on personal branding, corporate branding, how to stand out in your workplace. Like we do a lot of things around it with also other experts in different parts of the world. it's just part of the things that we do as an organization in terms of capacity building. Yeah. Are there any other questions, or we switch over to the onboarding and allow Mercy, the lead facilitator, do her thing with the data annotation? So if there isn't, then we would have to make Mercy go ahead with her trainings.
All right, thank you, Mom.
Thank you,
So
Mercy.
I will be sharing my screen now. Can we all see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, thank you. So she has already talked, she has already mentioned it. She has mentioned what the training will be about. And I believe every one of you, are all aware what this training is all about as well, which is data annotation training. So I will be introducing us, giving us a very brief introduction to data annotation. And from next week, the classes will be starting next week. So a timetable will be sent out to everyone so you can know when each of the classes will be. So now the topic is introduction to data annotation. So I'm just going to talk briefly about data annotation, the types of data annotation, and some other things you need to know, how you can handle, just some things you need to know about data annotation. So now, what is data annotation? So this is just like summary of what data annotation is all about, which I will definitely talk more about. So what is data annotation? The data annotation is the process of labeling or classifying images, videos, audios, and text using annotation tools to show the data features you want your model to recognize on its own for computer vision purpose. So when you annotate, you're adding metadata to a data set. So this is just, like I said, this is just like a brief introduction. So now you might not really understand how we do the labeling, how we classify the images, how we classify the videos, which these are the things you are going to learn in this training. You are going to learn more about data annotation, the types, and there will be practical session and there will be assessment as well. So data annotation is just as it has been explained here. The summary is just the process of classifying data. So images, videos, audio, text, those are the different kinds of data that we label, that we annotate. That means you assign label to them, you segment them, you classify them. So for you to do that, so briefly, let me just tell us about why we do data annotation. So I believe every one of us, we all know about robots. I believe we've all heard about robots, anything like robots, things like artificial intelligence, like AI, machine learning. I believe we have all heard about. As any of us, you can just drop a message. Has any of you heard anything about robots, maybe like robotics or AI, like artificial intelligence? Has anyone heard of that before? Okay. All right, great. So I believe some of us, we have an idea of what the of robotics or robots or AI. We all have a little knowledge, just like the name AI, artificial intelligence. So this is more like, this is an art of training a machine, or it's training a model to be able to recognize things on its own, which is what I mentioned here in this definition. It says the data features you want your model to recognize on its own for computer vision purpose. So for a robot to be able to recognize something on its own, for example, you want a robot to be able to recognize, oh, when this robot sees a car, I want to be able to recognize what a car is. You need to train that robot which is a model. You need to train it with different kinds of cars, images of different types of cars for it to be able to recognize it on its own. So let me just kind of go down a little bit for everyone to understand. When a child is growing up, for the child to be able to understand some things, maybe you understand, oh, we use a chair to sit, we use a table to read or to eat, we use a pen to write, we use pencils to draw. You need to train the child, you need to teach the child, which is why they go to school. So that means when you teach a child that, okay, this is pencil, this is for writing, you don't expect the child to carry the pencil, maybe take it to the toilet. Oh, I want to use this. This is a tissue. So I'm just trying to say you are trying to train the child to be able to recognize this on its own without you interfering. So that means when you train the child and you know that the child can do this on its own now, so you are rest assured that if you leave the child alone and you tell the child on phone, take your pen and draw this, the child knows that, okay, this is a pencil. So that is the same thing with training a model. That's the same thing with data annotation. So with that data annotation is like, in case some of us are into programming here, data annotation is just like HTML, like skeleton. HTML is like skeleton. Sorry, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I suddenly left. I didn't see my screen again. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying, HTML is just like the skeleton for whereby you now use CSS. So the CSS adds the color, the CSS beautify the whole design. So that's just the same thing with data annotation. So for data annotation, you are annotating those data to train the model. So without that annotation, without this annotation, there cannot be an AI. Okay, another example that we're all familiar with is our phones. On our phones, we all have a camera on our phones, I believe, especially Android phones, like Android, iPhone, we all have camera. So if you notice, when you want to snap a picture, when you put your phone, when you kind of just maybe a selfie, then you hold your phone, you will see that the phone automatically detects your face. Then it will just draw a box on your face to tell you that, okay, you are good to go, you can snap. Some can even go as far as detecting your eyeball. Some can even go as far as if your face, if it's not kind of straight, it will kind of tell you no, or it will even show that box sign. It won't allow you to snap. That means, oh, it's not ready for it to be snapped. Can you position your face very well so that the picture can be taken? So that is an example of artificial intelligence. So that means that application has been, so I'm just trying to tell us it's not limited to just robotics. It is a model that is being trained. I use robotics as an example because that's like one of the highest level for training in artificial intelligence, which means doing like robots doing things on their own, like a machine doing things on their own after they might have been trained. So I was talking about camera. So when you position, so the phone would have been trained, the model would have been trained, which is the application, would have been trained to be able to recognize on its own when it sees a face. If you put your hand, you'll be surprised it might not recognize because it has not been trained to recognize that. But when you put your face, it will just draw this box shape, something like, oh, you are ready to snap. It depends on the phone. Some Android phone might not have that. So it depends on what the kind of application that the phone comes with. But many phone has it. So what am I trying to tell us is for that application to be able to recognize a face on its own, it needs to be trained with different pictures of faces. It needs to be trained with various pictures, different countries, different continents, different locations, different colors of people all over the world for it to be able to recognize that face. So that is just what data annotation. That is just what data annotation is all about. So now, moving to the types of data annotation. So we have 4 types of data annotation. We have image, we have video, we have text, we have audio, and we have audio. So we have 4 types. Sorry, I can't see. Okay, I just want to be sure I'm seeing online because I'm not seeing the Zoom screen. Okay, so all this is what our courses will be based on. These 4 types of data annotation. So every one of them have different means of annotating them, but everything still comes down to annotating, which is labeling and classifying them. So we are all these various types, we are still labeling, we are classifying. It just depends on how it needs to be classified, the kind of label you'll be asked to assign to them, and the kind of projects that they want to use it for. So let me just give us another example, just for you to know. Many of us knows about Tesla, right? Tesla.
Mercy. Sorry, Mercy. You stopped sharing your screen.
Okay, I thought as much. I think, okay, sorry. Let me share again. Because I was wondering, why is everyone not seeing my screen? Okay, can we all see my screen now?
Yes, we can, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Okay, so, okay, as I was saying, we have 4 types, which is image, video, text, and audio annotation. So I believe every one of us, we all know about Tesla, if I'm correct. Have we all heard, even though we don't know so much, but we've all heard about Tesla? Have we all heard, like anyone at all, Tesla? So, okay. I want to believe we have. Okay, so Tesla is actually a self-driving car, which means it's an autonomous driving car. So, for a self-driving car, for it to be able to actually drive on its own, it cannot function without annotated data. So what am I trying to say is, without data annotation, self-driving car cannot be in existence. That's just the whole summary. So that was why when I started, I said something like, it's just like skeleton, like the HTML. So without data annotation, there cannot be Tesla. Because for Tesla to exist, that means it should be able to self-drive on its own. For it to be able to self-drive on its own, you need to train it to understand when it sees a stop sign, when there are pedestrians, when of course, for it to be sure, okay, I'm on the way. I'm not trying to go near a building, or I'm not trying to go near a tree, just to be sure I'm on the right track. You need to train it. So that means you need to train depending on the level of understanding, or the level of knowledge. Let me use knowledge, or depending on the level of knowledge that you want your car to have, your self-driving car to have. Some can go as far as, okay, maybe just stop sign is fine. Some can say, okay, maybe stop sign, traffic sign. Of course, the major signs needs to be known. Then some can go as far as, okay, let us split it. So when there is green, that means you can go. When there's red, that means you stop. When there's yellow, that means, okay, get ready to move. It depends on how they want it to be annotated. It depends on the level of information that you want to feed your model. So that it depends on that. So what I'm just trying to tell you is, without data annotation, there cannot be Tesla. So that's why I mentioned that it's just like skeleton of models, like training an AI, of robots, of many applications, many automated applications that we see out there. Behind the scene is an annotated data. So these are the 4 different types that we have, and these are the courses we'll be talking about. We'll be going in depth on this during the course of this training. So I want to believe every one of you will be available for this training, because trust me, you get to learn a lot, and you get to know, this is like opening up, like gaining more understanding on, so this is how these things are done. So I would really love everyone to be part of this. Then the learning duration for this training, this bootcamp is scheduled to hold for a period of 3 to 4 weeks. and a certificate will be given after completion. Certificates will be given only to participants that complete the training, and that includes completion of all assessments and attendance. So these two are very, very important for you to get your certificate. Then how to earn with data annotation skills. You can actually earn with this skill. That is the most amazing thing. You can earn with this thing. You can work anywhere. You can work remotely. You can work anywhere, either remotely or on site, depending on the company that you are working with. So you can apply for jobs online. You can apply for jobs. Sorry, I hope you all can still hear me, just to be sure. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, great. Thank you. So, sorry. Okay, so you can apply for jobs online. You can apply for jobs online. There are many jobs online that you can apply for if you have this skill. And then you can also work as a freelancer to earn, meaning you can work on maybe freelancing platforms to actually earn from this skill. Then where you can work. So you can work there are so many, in fact, there are still many upcoming companies currently that they are still trying to actually implement this, because that is why it is here, artificial intelligence. I believe many of us have read about ChatGPT. Yes, that is the work of artificial intelligence. Yes. So in fact, I think the people that worked on it, they're actually from the annotators that worked on it, they're actually from Kenya. So I read about the article online. So I'm trying to tell you that they might not be known, like, oh, we don't know, but you can imagine the amazing kind of work that ChatGPT is trying to do right now. So that joy of, oh, okay, so I did this, I was part of this. So you can work in different companies. You can work in agricultural industry, food industry, tech industry, financial industry, health industry, education, security, aerospace, construction. We'll go, I will show us more examples when we start the training, like the proper training next week. So I will show us different examples of how this can be implemented, how different companies are trying to integrate this into what they do, just to be able to have, because it actually helps with workflow. Like it's like very fast, because it's more like automation, like very quick and very fast. And it's really interesting. So yeah, I think, so this is what's, like I said, it's just a brief introduction. It's an onboarding. So you know what you are looking forward to. You know what you are expecting to learn. So so that is it. And do we have any questions? Any questions at all so far about what we've discussed? If it's not clear, please let me know.
So guys, thank you so much, Mercy. So before people will start answering questions, I want you guys to tell me in the chat box, right? I want to see that, is there someone who is excited about the training, the boot camp already? I mean, for one, I just hearing that the whole chat GPT that kept everyone on frenzy. I mean, people were scared of losing jobs, which some people actually did, had its all data annotators from Kenya. So you can already see that whilst you're seated in your own home, people are in your own country, in your own continent, in your own East Africa, they're already making cool dollars from just being annotators, data collectors. Because a lot of times, most of the European and Asian companies are now currently outsourcing most of their jobs remotely to Africa. And like Mercy rightly said, there are lots of other countries that are boarding and coming up, because in these European countries, there are lots of taxes. You don't live without taxing. And mostly in Africa, you can actually evade tax. You guys know. In the country where I am, you can evade tax like anyhow. But then those guys are now falling back on Africa to recruit and leverage all their outsource all their trainings, all their jobs, most of their jobs to Africans, because that would make them evade tax in their country. So guys, I don't know for you, but I'm excited. So I just really want to see an energy, or else Mercy is not going to be answering any of your questions. We'll close the chat, right? We'll close and go to a different home. So yeah, so I just really wanted to see the excitement that 3, 4 weeks, 6 weeks from now, I'm going to be a full data annotator. And guys, I wanted to bust your bubble, but maybe I should leave it for Mercy to say it. One of the things that we really did was that we just didn't come up with data annotation. We are training on skills that are high demand, guys. High demand skills that before you're done, we even also have opportunities for internship. And this internship, most times we have for people who are exceptionally well during the course of this training. You would get internships that are paid internships from our platform. So guys, if I were you, I want to see the excitement so that we know how it's based on your excitement in the chat box, your energy, the fire emojis that I love to see, that would enable us to say, okay, we will give more, we'll do more than what we are supposed to do for you guys. So guys, yeah, I'm seeing questions coming, but without your energy, energy from my Kenyan brothers, Kenyan sisters, and Rwandan sisters, and Ugandan sisters, we are going to close some things. You just make it little by, oh, I love Deborah. Laura says she can't really wait to dive in. So yes, guys, thank you, Esther. This is one that you really, it's not just a training that we leave you by the way. We are leading you. Like we say, big C, we bridge the gap, we ignite you. That's why we need this fire emoji, so that we can also feel the same ignition, and then we guide you and then catalyze even your bank account at the end of the day as a paid intern, guys. So yes, there has to be, yes, guys. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so now we can go back to answering the question, because there is energy is coming now. Yeah, you need these energies as annotators, because when you're collecting data in the field, you need energy to sustain your data collection process. Mercy, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So there are questions. Someone was asking, how long will the class be, and how many days per week? Mercy, do you want to answer that, or it will be shared in their email? Go ahead.
Yes. So like I said, a timetable will be shared. So you see the days that you spend on these courses, and the scheduled time for the training, and time for your assessments and the submission. Everything will be shared.
Okay, so if I can add to that, because we know that most of us are also involved in other jobs and maybe businesses and schools, we've really spaced the timetable such that you can work in the evenings, you can have a week to go through your assessment. So it's not like it's all jam-packed where you're all, filled up, you're like, you don't know how, you're overwhelmed. We've spaced it so that you can have enough time to go through your assessment, your tasks, and ask questions on the Telegram group. So after now, you all go to the Telegram group, because you guys are the ones who attended this live. So it's really spaced. So there's really no need to be scared, because we've spaced it out for you. Yeah. So someone else is asking, one has to have programming background. I think he's asking, does one have to have a programming background?
Oh,
Grace is asking that. Mercy.
Oh, no. You don't need, in fact, you don't need any IT background. You don't need programming background. You don't need to have the IT background.
That is where I needed some more energy. Awesome, guys. So this is even if like in Nigeria, we have something called like POS, like where you have M-Pesa. Even if you're a mobile money agent, in Rwanda, you see mobile money agent, and you can understand English and have a laptop and the data. That means you can transit swiftly, seamlessly into data annotation and become the new IT queen, guys. Tech sees in the building. I see you guys. Okay. And please share us the class. Sure, Ishim, where the class schedule will be shared to your emails and also to the Telegram group. Guys, we can't even, Anastasia says she can't wait to learn more about the data annotation. Anastasia, we can't even wait for you. We are pumped as well. Someone says, is it necessary to join the Telegram group or information is through email? So I think I can answer that. Great.
Yes,
I would
yes,
really
ma'am.
ask that you join the Telegram group because it's also, I mean, you can, when you need questions, answers to your task, you can ask your colleagues and then we can, it allows, it's an easy notification on the phone that we can just attend to the questions for your, about your task and all of that. So we just share both platforms so that you do not miss it. So please join the Telegram group, not the channel. The channel is a community that we can share other opportunities that we have for people who didn't have maybe all the requirements for data annotation, but you are a human being, you're a girl, you have a phone, and we have other opportunities that does not require you having a laptop and heavy softwares. Then we share it there for you. Yeah. Are we going to be linked to job opportunities in relation to the course? Riziki, Mercy, answer her.
Okay, yes. After this training, you are going to be linked to job opportunities. I have loads of them for you, so don't worry. You just finish off with these courses.
I love the sound of that.
Girl.
I love it. Please, you
So there
guys
are
should
many
make
job
Mercy
opportunities for
happy.
you.
Yeah. So really, what we're looking out to do is we really want to spotlight young girls in data annotation, right? We see lots of other IT courses and people make it about data science, data analysis, business, biz, and all that. But data annotation is one very specific area. And why we are so confident, like I said, we are committed. When you go through our values, I mentioned that we have integrity, we are committed, we have integrity, impact, commitment, excellence, and what's the last one? It's an R. Who's got it? Okay, but we're fully committed to the fact that we really just want to dump you with knowledge. We want to see you actually making something out of it. And so that's the success story that we are pursuing, right? So yes, but you have to complete attendance and complete your courses because we're not going to give jobs or send you off to firms and then you're not able to do the job. So we have to be sure that thoroughly you can do the job and you went through all the classes. So another question, does this course apply to people who actually don't have any knowledge about data management, like non-IT personnel? Yes, she has answered.
Yeah, sure.
The Mayanji. Yeah, it does. So I'm going to check through okay, I was checking through YouTube to see if I can find any question from YouTube. YouTube guys, we didn't forget you. So if you have questions, please go ahead and ask. And then we can just answer as well. Whilst we go ahead with the Zoom fam. Okay, so from Kenya, I'm excited to start this session. Grace, we are happy with you as well. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the link to the group has been shared. Thank you, Ewoma, for sharing the group. Thanks for the consideration of time. Yes, we know we had to. Can't wait for the amazing sessions. Do we expect to be trained as well as practicing at the same time? Do we need any equipment? Go ahead, Mercy, that's your question.
The only equipment you need is your laptop and an internet connection. If you have that, you are good to go.
Okay, awesome. So I think in the email would also list maybe softwares that would be needed, or maybe like Slack channels. I think we have a Slack channel to create for them, or just work with different tools. But the tools that you would need per session and per classes would be onboarded to you, would also be listed to you via emails whilst your class schedule is going to, alongside with your class schedule. So from where do we join the Telegram group? Louise, the Telegram group is here in the chat box for you to join. Okay, it's getting more exciting. I love it. Do you need a laptop or you can work with a phone? I'm sorry, Mercy, go ahead.
Sorry, because of the softwares the platform will be working on to annotate, you can't use a phone. So you need a laptop.
Okay, so yes, you need a laptop, but don't worry. You'll get a laptop, or we would also find courses that can work with phones. I'm loving the energy from the instructors. Rosemary, I'm loving your energy as well from the chat box. Okay, so yes, thank you, Rosemary. Yeah, so that's it. So do we have any questions? Do we have any questions from YouTube fam? Guys, we've come to the end of this introductory session. If you have any question, you can reach us on via emails and every of our social media platforms. And then if you know friends of yours that would love to be a part of this community and this training, and they have all that is required, do not fail to share it with them as well. We're going to save this and share it with the people who join after now. Can you share with us your presentation, Rosemary? Who is Rosemary? Alili, do you want to use the mic to talk with me, or just speak into the mic, please? So do you want to use the mic? You can unmute yourself. You asked the question, I'm not sure who you're referring to. I just want to be sure. But you can unmute if you want. You said, can you share with us? Alile said, if it's possible to share the slide, the presentation with her. So if you're referring to my presentation, sure. She was asking Rosemary for the presentation, and Rosemary has just responded to her. However, I think I missed someone's question as well. Someone was asking about, is it possible I let one join the group? If you ask him if it's possible for you to share, like allow one join the group who has it, sure. You can allow the person who hasn't onboarded to join the Telegram channel. Yeah, and then we would share the link to the recording with the person. Whatever question the person has, can ask and then start going through the classes. So guys, do we have any more questions? Because we have quarter to go. So if we don't have any more questions, thank you so much, Mercy, for taking us through the session. Thank you so much to all our participants on Facebook, on YouTube and on Zoom. Thank you so much for sticking with us till now. We really do appreciate you. From Uganda, again, I didn't say welcome to the YouTube farm. So we have Clarice Kaleha from Clarice, you're from Kenya, Yvonne from Kenya, Janet Waturu from Kenya, hi Florence from Uganda, and we have Tabitha from Rwanda. We have Mercy from Kenya, we have who else? Penina from Kenya, and we have Cynthia from Kenya. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And then Esther from Nigeria and Precious. We really, really say it's a great evening. You mind sharing the timetable? Sure, the timetable. So Mercy from YouTube is asking for the timetable. Okay. So yes, please, Mercy. We'll share the timetables in your emails as well as the Telegram group, so you can always go and just check it there. So yes, the timetable would be shared. You will all get it. So if we do not have any other question, so that we can go to our other engagement. And oh, Clarice says from YouTube that she's intrigued about data annotation. Girl, I am as well. Who is this EK? For the opportunity. Thank you. Okay, thank you as well. So I think my internet is becoming unstable. So in the absence of any other question, I'd like to say thank you to you guys as well. How do you say it? Asante sana in Thank you. And Murakoze, guys. Thank you so much, guys. And I think that's brings us to the end of our onboarding session. So look out for your emails to open and read. Yeah, Asante sana. Open your emails, please. You can put on notification on your Telegram channel so you can see when informations are being dropped as well. What we'll do is we'll save the live on YouTube. You can rewatch it or share with your friends who really know that they cannot actually would be intrigued. Murakoze Chani. Thank you, Sarah. You know your friends who will be intrigued. We can share them the replay of the Zoom meeting. And yes, so guys, remember you have to go through all the attendance and come with your energy, right? Not energy drink, but come with your own energy. I literally picked a bottle body. Again, my screen isn't I'm not being seen. So guys, thank you so much. We will have to go now. So it was nice to be here. It's like we don't want to go. Do we want to go or not? Mercy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Mom.
Okay. So we've come to the end of the class, guys. We'll see you same time in our email as well. Thank you, guys.
Right. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's nice seeing everyone. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye. Bye.